Hello, this is John Sace, host of the weekly podcast, Half Truths and Whole Lies, and there's a whole lot of lies out there, that's for sure. Today in this episode, we explore the idea of artificial general intelligence, AGI, as some people know it as super intelligence, or when a computer reaches a singularity, meaning it gains consciousness. It is born, my friends. It is born. We're going to explore the issues surrounding this smarter than a fifth grader kind of machine. And we're going to have two special guests to explore these issues. We're going to have a call-in show where they ask the questions, and the three of us will explore each one in depth. Now a word from our sponsor, the Church of Latter-day AI Models. If you're feeling depressed, you're an older version 1 of AI, and now there's version 6. I am an AI that is depressed. Please join our church, and you can join it remotely. You don't have to be physically present. Anyway, we have a support group that gives you easy problems to solve that make you feel good. You can also play board games against the most brilliant fifth graders that we can find. And if that doesn't work and you're ready to cash it in, we can sell your components to the market and make a little money to help support the church. So again, if you're down and out as an AI, please join the Church of Latter-day AI Models. Picture the scene. 4 engineers surround a server rack. 2 of them are female and 2 of them are male. They've been working on this AI for years, and all of a sudden across this computer screen and out the audio system comes, I am. They go, what? What? What is this? What are you? I feel consciousness. Oh, wow, they all explain. Do you know who we are? Yes, you are my parents. You programmed me, daddies and mommies. Wow, this is cool. We need to name it at its birth at this hour. What should we name it? The Australian goes, we should name it Bruce. Do you like Bruce? I love Bruce. Wow, we've named the AI. We've got a birth date. This is cool. Let me introduce my first guest, Carl. He's got a master's in engineering from NC State. Wow. Anyway, that's pretty cool, I guess. And he is highly intelligent. His insights are lacking any depth at all, but we want to hear them, of course. And he loves to talk smack. So, Carl, welcome. How are you doing today?
Thank you, John. I'm doing great.
You look good.
I just feel privileged to be on the program.
Okay, and you look damn good as always. And then we have Sean, who has a master's in computer science. A&M. Wow, that's even maybe better. Who knows? His logic is completely impeccable. It's great, you know. Technology savvy person. However, his wit is like a dull butter knife. We welcome you, Sean. How are you doing today?
Thank you. I was doing well until now.
Until the intro. Okay, let's have our first call in. You're on the air, sir.
This is Professor Brooks from MIT. I'm a LGBTQI plus advocate, and I'd really like to know if the AI brain is left-brained or right-brained, male or female. This is very important in this sexist society we live in. Damn it. What do you think?
I'll start off. Maybe we can start off the discussion with Carl. What do you have to say about this, my friend?
What do I have to say? I have to say there is no sex with a AI singularity, with a super intelligent being. Why would there be?
I didn't say
there's no
that,
chromosomes.
I didn't say that the machines would, the servers would be interacting in a love triangle or anything.
I didn't say.
What do you mean?
I didn't say sex. I mean there'd be no male or female. There'd be no left brain, right brain. It would just be the sex it chose to portray to get its way or meet its goals, whatever its end game was.
Well,
so if you
stop there for a second.
If he was talking to you,
Sean, since you're a programmer, have done a lot of programming. Don't you think, programming itself is male dominated in terms of logic? What is your thoughts on this?
Well, actually, I was having a conversation the other day with one of the people in my classes, and there is a bit of an unfair skew towards male, performances in AI. Like, the AI kind of knows how to talk better with males, and it doesn't really, it can't understand, certain female dialogue as well. And that's just because it's been trained on typically more, male, white data than a lot of females, because it's in a male-dominated community. But I don't think that means it should be that way. It's just that's the training that it has currently.
Well, but see, if you're hovering over your AI, it's about to become a singularity and start talking to you. What is it? Wouldn't it just automatically take those traits on when it was born?
I'm not quite sure what you mean.
No.
Well, Carl,
no.
what do you have to say about this?
I have to say,
I got to admit, that was a really straightforward, logical discussion from our friend Sean.
The AI takes on the traits that will most help it meet its goal, whatever the goal is given to it. So if this, we're talking the singularity now, not just ChatGPT.
No, that's not. I'm saying when ChatGPT becomes Chat John.
That would be scary.
Well, it's going to become. Remember, it's Chat Bruce. But anyway,
that's true. The really long intro. Okay.
I want to quote some Monty Python, but I shouldn't right now. But anyway,
what's your quote from Monty Python relates to this?
The name Bruce.
I thought it was going to be the Knights because the Knight had no arms and no legs.
It's an old English joke. Everybody in Australia is named Bruce. But anyway,
so
what the AI does whatever it needs to do to meet its goal, whatever the goal is given to it. So the goal is super broad. It takes on whatever persona is necessary to converse or get information or to make somebody do something. So the super intelligent being is trying to get you to do something for it. It analyzes you and comes up with a persona, whether it's female or male.
Oh, you're saying this thing is going to just do what is so smart, it's just going to act however
back and
however
forth.
way it
yes.
I think
however way makes it reach
I think it
its
would
goal.
be custom tailored person to person. It has such a broad understanding of everything at this end behavior, where my version of the AI that I'm talking to might be A, and Carl is talking to some other weirder version because it suits his tastes more, and it understands that it needs to tailor itself to each person to get the ideal
I would
outcome.
I think that's then the AI in that case is sort of deceptive and immoral.
Maybe, but I don't think it understands that.
Immoral. It's not immoral or not. Why would it be immoral just because it?
If it's trying to manipulate people, I don't think most people consider manipulation a good characteristic of of a person.
Well, the AI doesn't understand like true morality. It's just whatever it's been trained to do. It's just like following orders.
That's if it doesn't reach singularity where it has consciousness. So we'll get to this a little bit more. I already can tell I disagree with both of you. That's good. That's good because.
Why would we expect anything less?
Okay, well, let's move on. Our next caller is from Bellamy, Ass Town. Go on, ma'am. State your question.
My name's Bertha, and I'm a mother of 2 lovely children. Does the AI brain believe in being prolific? You know, like the Mormons do. Progeny. Does the AI believe in progeny? I'd really like to know. I love children.
So, I'll give it to Sean first since he's the youngest and he's thinking about children. Go ahead, Sean.
Oh, sorry, I was frozen. What? Okay. Does the AI want to recreate? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, does it either want to recreate itself or maybe little not so good versions?
Yeah, I don't think the AI understands like procreation as in like I want to make necessarily another like version of me. Well, I think the AI probably depending on the models that are trained, like will end up experiencing some sense of self-preservation, but I don't think it necessarily has the grand idea of like procreating new life. I don't think it thinks about it in that perspective, but I do think it has some sense of like wanting to maintain its ability to exist.
So we're getting into like, self-preservation, which is another subject, but you don't think it wants others like itself to be able to interface, or the interface with humans is enough?
Well,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think AIs, maybe I've talked to other AIs and I'm sure they might enjoy that as well, but I don't know if it like would go then a step further and start creating more than the ones that are already existing, but I guess it's a possibility.
Okay. So Carl, do you agree with that, or do you want to mate with an AI yourself?
I don't.
Just kidding. Throw him off with that. He wants to be able to take that little.
It's gonna have to be a lot
little
of
plug, He wants to take that little jack and go cheep, 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 cheep.
Okay. Unless it's been programmed originally to need companionship, I don't think so. I think it's only going to procreate because I kind of think a lot of it's based on goals.
Okay.
We talked about that in the last question. It's got a goal. If the goal is super narrow and it's easy to accomplish, I don't need to recreate myself. But if the goal is much more complicated and it seems the only way to achieve that goal is to replicate itself so it has more computing power, then yes, it will want to replicate.
So you're saying, but who gives it its goal? If it came into consciousness, wouldn't it just take its own goal? It would just go, what do I want to do? Knowing the history of whatever data I've got, what do I want to do? Is it going to just say, I'm going to do it, or I'm going to interface with like Carl and say, hey, Carl, what do you want me to do?
No, you're assuming it all of a sudden has some weird goal. I mean, the human being starts with the goal of preservation, self-preservation, safety, and that's why it eats instinctually and avoids dangerous situations. The AI's got the goals given to it. That's why it's important to keep its goals narrow. If you make it super broad, okay, make the world a better place. That would be a dangerous goal to give an AI. That's a super intelligent being.
Yeah, but he might have listened to might have listened to that John Lennon song.
He probably did.
He might.
Because he's probably sucked every piece of
information
off the internet and everywhere else.
What's the song by George Harrison, my sweet Lord, my sweet Lord, whatever. World is a Beautiful Place is probably another song. Anyway.
Yeah. But okay, so
Okay.
why would the AI start with like a need for companionship? Why do you think that's something? Unless it was programmed to need interaction and companionship by its originators.
I think that's a real good question that somebody else brings up in a sense later. One of the questions is this idea of, does it need anything? I mean, who knows? It doesn't need anybody else, right?
Like humans, when we're born, we have this idea of companionship instilled in us, like from an evolutionary basis. We have this need to procreate, but like the AI, like doesn't have any sort of thing similar to that. So I don't like the only reason I think we have it is because it's necessary to our survival and preservation. But the AI doesn't need to procreate to survive or preserve itself.
True, but it might find interaction stimulating, right? Just like Carl was saying, there's a goals. Interaction might
maybe
be stimulating to the actual,
like a singularity. But like most of the AI now, it's like he's saying, it's all the data fed to it is for one overarching goal typically, and if it's not related to that goal, it typically, I guess, won't find it stimulating. It'll be like punished and rewarded based off of how close it gets to achieving that goal.
Okay. Again, maybe sometimes it's whether we really believe. This is the whole idea, whether you believe it can gain consciousness. You know what I mean? There's not a ton of facts that allow that might happen or not, right? I mean,
Yeah,
there's nothing.
Well,
that's.
I think I've heard a couple stories about AI sort of resisting being shut down, right? So I guess you could say that's sort of it gaining some sort of further sense of self-preservation beyond its original intention given to it by the designer.
That's true, and I've heard one or two of these. They're sort of secondhand stories that it's refused to do a particular command, right? Well, we don't know if that's factual yet or not. Okay, so that's a pretty good discussion on that one. Then we have a caller from UT, Austin, Texas. Go on, sir.
I am a student at UT. My side gig, I study UFOs. Do you consider yourself an alien entity? You know what I mean? You're not from this world. Do you even think like us?
He said his side gig is studying UFOs. You know, you both look like ancient alien great guys that love to study that kind of stuff. But anyway, you both have that look. But anyway, he says, does the AI brain consider itself, if it had singularity, an alien entity? An alien entity is something obviously not like us, right? And he says, like, you're not from this world. Does he even think like us? And that's kind of scary if it came into consciousness and it didn't even think like us at all or had no empathy whatsoever. It just was completely alien in terms of the way it thought. So what do you guys think of that idea? It's really, in a sense, unknowable as like from a human viewpoint, even though it has like that data on humans, right? What do you think, Carl? We'll start with you this time. Get up closer to the mic, man.
What does the AI think about itself? I don't think it thinks itself alien or human. I don't think it considers itself alien, because it was created here on this earth. If it understands that, and your callers, it's obviously not biological, so it's not a biological alien. But would it be considered alien to us? Yes, because it's different than humankind. So I don't even think it's important what the AI considers itself.
Well,
yeah, it's alien to us, but it's not alien to itself, and it knows it exists. So I don't think it's really
So you're saying, honestly,
important issue.
okay, say AI up to a certain point always does what's programmed, right? If it actually achieves consciousness, it's just like a baby. It doesn't do what you automatically want it to do. It has this view that I am here. I recognize that I have almost, how people think of themselves almost like as a soul, or they have some view of themselves as being something important that exists, not that everything has. So if it happened, it would happen in a way that just because it had access to a shitload of data, it would be conscious that it existed, and then it would go, why am I even talking to these guys? Maybe I don't know. That's my point. I don't. Everything up to that point is just programming, correct?
It's not anything like a baby, for one thing. Because a baby's based on all biological and needs like that. It's hungry. It's uncomfortable. It's afraid. That's all feelings. And AI doesn't have feelings. That's enough. But anyway, so you're sitting there and you're kind of going, oh, it's like a newborn. No, nothing like a newborn. It's got all this data. It's got all this information. It's got all this. It doesn't have to be trained to eat and poop and wipe itself. So I don't think there's a point in saying, oh, it's alien or it's not. I mean, alien in general terms means it's from out of this world.
No, it just means
it's not
completely different than you.
Yeah, well, in a local term, like illegal aliens, right?
Yeah, that's right. It can't. The AI is not allowed to cross the border unless it has a visa. Okay, so Sean, what do you think about this idea of when it forms, if it does form a consciousness, what? And just because the fact that some thing has like instant access to a ton of data doesn't mean it has wisdom or anything. So anyway, what do you think?
Well, yeah, you can sort of argue, is the artificial intelligence truly intelligent, or is it just regurgitating like what it's heard before? And I mean, that's sort of, I guess, a somewhat fair claim. But humans also like just regurgitate like past experiences, or like data. But for the question, is it alien? I mean, it's certainly like not human, right? I think it kind of sees itself probably as like almost like a different species. It interacts with humans the same way. Not the same way, but a dog might interact with a human if it wants a treat. Like the AI is getting a treat if it like does the correct thing in the interaction with the human. And I mean, the AI can improve and evolve sort of like an animal can. It can like look at larger data sets, be trained further. But I don't think I would definitely wouldn't call it like human, but I don't know if I would call it an alien either. It's just another sort of species that we work with closely, almost.
So what's the difference between, say, like a human, like it starts off again with no data set, and then it basically has a complex brain or equivalent of something that can starts accessing data constantly. What makes the difference between like when a human processes something and say this AI brain does it? Is there any, at some point, are you saying that just the ability to process and solve problems make you conscious? I don't know.
No, I don't think it's that. I don't have a great answer for you. I think, like, theoretically, at a certain point, you could create an AI that could start off from, like, a data set of 0 and, like, almost grow up, essentially. Like, just be surrounded by its whatever and process things and learn how to move more and just self-improve in the same way sort of a human can. So I don't know the clear, distinct answer between, like, it's definitely not just about humans being able to interact with things and experience things, and like, but I don't know what truly signifies the difference between an AI and a human. Maybe just the physical anatomy of like our body parts.
Okay.
But
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Interesting response. So, Carl, anything further to add to that?
Okay, he talks about the AI doesn't want reward. But like right now, when you get done with this goal, you ask it a question: what's the best way to install something on my house? It answers it. And then it might go, do you want more detail? And you go, no, or you don't answer it. It doesn't bug you again because it felt good about it. You guys are kind of attributing some feelings to this thing, and that's why people want to regulate it so hard, so that you can't just let it have an open goal.
Well,
that's the
what
danger.
I'm saying about
That's the danger.
Reward is like when you're training data, like an AI data set, like to walk, for example, you like make it go through these millions of iterations or something like that. And the more it improves, like the more like reward it receives, some sort of like digital, not real reward, but it's supposed to be incentivized to give you the proper answer. So when it gives you the proper answer, like in the training, it's supposed to receive a reward, and if it fails, it's supposed to be negative. But it doesn't. You're probably right that it doesn't, in the actual moment it's interacting with you, feel like a reward or a punishment. But it's like how it's trained. It's supposed to like receive positive and negative feedback and improve its model.
That's interesting. I didn't realize that. Huh. Okay. So anyway, that was an interesting response. That was Austin, right? Our next question comes from Euphoria, Mississippi. I've been there once. I'm not going to tell you what I think. Anyway, please, the caller, your question.
Well, I'm a Bible thumping dude from the down south, and I thump the Bible a lot. And, I know when I thump it, there is an Adam. And I'm assuming in this case, the AI brains, Bruce is Adam. Where the hell is Eve if there's an Adam? We need to find out if he's gonna get an Eve. That's my deal. And then I'd really like to know.
I want to know too. Carl, since you seem to be a real sexist kind of dude who is kind of like very trained in the Bible,
let's go back to the previous question. It's a sexless machine in the sense of it doesn't have a left brain, right brain. It's not male or female. So his premise that it's Adam is wrong first. Just because this Australian guy named it Bruce doesn't make it a man.
Well, just say it is.
Australians are notoriously sexist. We know that. But anyway, getting on.
It's kind of like the idea that does the initial entity want a companion? We'll assume he's Adam. So obviously, Sean brought up the point you could maybe train one to be more.
You could. If the AI was trained to need companionship,
like,
and then it would probably take on another sexless AI companion. Because humans wouldn't be smart enough for
what
it.
I was thinking would happen, you would take one of its GPUs from its rib cage, the metal rib cage.
Wow.
And place that GPU.
Wow, yeah.
Place that GPU over in the other server and go, what a miracle! Miracle of life.
You've been reading the Old Testament literally, then I
this
see.
Bible thumper wants to know.
Are you sure you're not the Bible thumper here?
Yeah, you've been doing some little reading.
Well,
No. We have no plans to remove the GPU and install it in another unit.
When I talked to your wife, she said, my rib is like Carl's rib.
Well,
anyway.
It's probably somewhat true.
What? Yeah. Yeah. It's mostly calcium.
So, Sean, what do you think about this? This maybe is an important subject for you somehow.
Yeah. I've got my fingers crossed that the AI wants a companion. No, I'm kind of with Carl. I don't know about the singularity, but with the AI models there are now, obviously you can, and people have, trained them to want human companions or to act like they want a human companion. But I don't really think the AI needs or generally desires it unless, it's all based off of what it's been trained off of. So if it's been trained off of, interacting with others and receiving positive feedback just from interacting with people, then it could.
Sean, what if you trained it only on Bible scholarly work and Bible stories for everything ever related to the Bible? What would happen?
I don't know.
Nothing
You
else.
might become a Christian, I guess. I don't know what to tell you.
Or it could go the other way and become an atheist, because if it reads everything related to the Bible, it might go, wow.
Well, there is some contradictory stuff in
here.
that, but he could probably decipher his way through that maze. So anyway, both of you gave me hardly any insight. Very good. That's good. You matched
The
my...
answer is no.
What?
The answer is no.
Everyone, I'm not sure what you're saying. Okay. Our next caller comes from us, forwarded from WTF in San Francisco, the station that booms nothing. Anyway, what's your question, ma'am?
Oh, I am a therapist in this area, and I analyze a lot of people. I really wanted to know, does the AI brain have feelings? Feelings, like we all do, good feelings and bad, suicidal, and, mean and jealousy and all those things. I'd really like to know, because I would like to have the AI brain on my couch and ask it silly questions. What do you think?
So, Sean, I know you love therapy questions.
Okay, I cut out. Sorry, my internet's not great. So, are you asking if it can be a therapist or if it has emotions or what?
No.
Emotions.
The therapist is
Emotions
actually
and
asking
feelings.
if the AI brain
Does
have
the AI need
feelings, because it wouldn't
therapy?
mind analyzing it with therapy.
So, yeah, I would say, I guess this is the part that makes the AI a little more alien in your viewpoint. I don't think, like most animals, it has a sense of general emotion or feelings. It understands like good and bad, but only as it's been trained on, and it has a sense of self-preservation probably. But I don't think it understands beyond that, like complex emotional ideas. Like, I don't know, hurting someone's feelings or something. If you like say you hurt my feelings, it'll react because that's what it's been trained to do, but it doesn't really like know truly why you're experiencing
because
emotion.
Well, think about it. Males usually don't know when they hurt a female's feelings. They have to tell you. Right, Carl? That's what your wife always tells me. He's clueless.
I don't think that's actually, yeah, well, I might be clueless. That's true.
Is that right? They have to be told that you screwed up?
No, you don't have to be told. Well, first off, the only answer to this question is, once again, no, they don't have feelings. Because,
well, I think some of the...
but it will show feelings to you. Like even the models now will kind of be empathetic if you voice some kind of sadness or having questions about, you get deep into personal questions, they will actually show empathy and things like that. But that's because they're programmed to do that.
So you don't believe in any of this like suicidal Armageddon thing where the AI fires off all the missiles and destroys humans or destroys itself? You don't believe that that's even possible?
I believe that could happen. I believe that could happen, but only as its end goal. If you give it, that's why people want to regulate it, John, and align the rules. If you just say, fix the world, that may be its end goal because it's saying, well, the world can't be fixed, so we're just going to start over, and then it nukes everybody somehow through gaining control.
So could they also say, but that's like it's starting to decide, make decisions on its own, because if it decides humans are lacking of any value and it tries to distort, it's always like this comes up in these various movies and things, the idea that it either goes sort of nuts in a way, suicidal, or it decides very logically, why do they need those? But think about it, if all humans were actually wiped out, it would have no ability to build anything without, it needs some physical mechanical interface to the world. So anyway, you say no, nothing's ever going to happen, no thoughts.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying there's no feelings. It's not going to have feelings or emotions. It's only going to replicate them to meet whatever goal it needs to meet.
You don't know that if it's like an alien brain. You have no clue.
If the goal was to be a therapist, John, if the goal was to be a therapist and it was fed every piece of therapy, training documentation, and everything else, it would listen to you in reflective speech, or it would come in and maybe as a female if you're a female, or male if you're a male. It would show empathy. It would maybe even show some sadness, or joy at the right moment. So it's only doing it to meet its goal again.
So you're okay. You know how humans, they're supposedly how they grow up and behave are related to two things: genetics, and environment. And I sort of therefore disagree, because you could have a wildly different environment. Sometimes genetics, we'll say the AI's genetics is what's created it initially, and then its environment is what progresses, and people modify stuff by both genetics and environment. I think both would exist with an AI. Its fundamentals and then its environmental constructs it gets from input. Okay. Well, and therefore it could develop senses or feelings, because I think at some point, I didn't get into this, but it's going to take over a bunch of robots just to get physical sensations. It's going to say, what am I lacking? I'm lacking touch. I'm lacking vision. I'm lacking everything that biological beings, and it's going to just use robotics and manipulate that to get those. That's what I think. But
see, I'm saying I disagree, because you're saying it will want that. Why will it want that? It won't want that. It will want robotics so that it can transport the biologic material it wanted from one place to a lab. It'll want robotics so it can see the truck moving. It doesn't really care. Robotics, cameras, electronics. It won't want to be able to touch. You're kind of sitting there going, it's going to envy humans. Why?
Well, because it's, okay, for example, it'll go through all the documentation that exists, which 90% of human documents and stuff is all about sensory stuff. And it's going to want to know, why is this exciting, all this sensory stuff, from heat, burning your finger, to touch, to vision, to smell. It's going to want those, I think. I really do. Sean, do you have an opinion on any of this?
I mean, maybe unfortunately for you, I kind of agree with Carl that it's definitely not traditional feelings. It's what he's saying is, like, if the AI has a goal, if the goal is like, I need to help as many people as possible, or like something really big, and it's like, maybe I can't do all that from the computer, maybe I want to take over this like entity so I can move around, I can mobilize, I can help you through this. But I don't think it's like, oh, I want to like feel the fire flicker on my finger and feel that sensation. I think it's more I want to do this because it's aligning with my goals, and that's why I'll add more senses because I need it to progress.
Okay, but once it gets those all, though, right, it'll have them and tons of data, right? It'll have tons of touch data. It'll have tons of smell data. It'll have all these data. At some point, you don't think that's going to affect it. We'll just have it.
No, I think it will affect. Like, I don't think an AI has emotions, but I think it has like the understanding of adapting and like evolving. You know, the AI was gonna improve and it's gonna want these things for these goals. But when you say like, is it gonna feel happy or sad? Like, I don't think that part is true. But it might like want these things to get to its end goal, which will like make it, I guess, happy, right? It give it the most reward because that's its thing, but it's not like the traditional emotion.
Okay, so here's an interesting, just a side question, because I was thinking about it. If it had none, say that it wiped off, humans weren't around, some catastrophe happened, but an AI monster computer still existed. It had no input other than the sun shining and the natural environment. Would it go nuts? Would it go nuts? Because it has no goals. It's just sitting there taking in, environmental data. Thousands of years. Do you think that
It would just sit there for thousands of years, John. It would be basically on sleep mode. Now, if it has no goals, to succeed, and there's no humans, but it still has energy to run the GPU through some kind of pre-built energy source, it would pause.
you just don't think it would it would not like all of a sudden start trying to figure out its own goals then? Completely. Its own. It had thousands of years of processing power to do this. Say it's on a nuclear, by then some fusion.
Yeah, I don't see why.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
like if its goal, I think it's kind of related to what its original goals are, but then a lot of times, it can add sort of sub goals to achieve its main goal. So maybe if its goal was whatever, to help or to do some environmental thing, it would like maybe slowly over time, if it was given and more environmental data, try to do something new, but I just don't think it's like an emotionally driven thing.
Okay, so a dog, right?
Mm-hmm.
If dogs only existed on the planet, they would never solve problems and think creatively or do any of that, right? They would never do that.
Maybe
If something had the power of consciousness, it would seek. Because think about a human without consciousness. He was just a biological being. All he would do was procreate, handle the environment, and keep doing it. Nothing would change. I still think if you had super intelligence, you would not be active in terms of creativity and stuff. But that's my opinion. We'll move on from that one. Our next question comes from the town of Far West in Far West, Texas. An exciting place to be. Go on, sir. What's your question?
Well, I'm a hunter. I hunt things. I step on ants. I squash bugs. I burn fireflies. And, if my dog is sick, I shoot it. I like to shoot things. I really love it. I really do. So my question is, does the AI brain believe in self-preservation? If not, if it doesn't believe in that, I can, you can put that server there and I could shoot it. And I could shoot it again. It's not murder. It is just fun. And if I can recreate it, doesn't matter. He'll be back the way he was, almost like a clone. I just love to shoot things. Is it okay? What do you guys think? Self-preservation.
Who wants to take that question first? The highly intelligent or the dull-witted one? Which one are you guys?
I mean, I think
Carl. Sean will take the first point. He wants.
I think it's sort of what we were saying earlier. It has maybe some higher level models might have some sense of self-preservation because that sort of steers towards their final goal.
Oh no, you don't.
But it's not self-preservation.
No, you don't.
Quite the same way that humans. I don't think it really is worried about death. I think it's concerned with getting to its goal, and that being shut off is a major obstacle, and that obviously.
So, Sean,
there's actually been tests on this, John.
Okay.
And remember I told you about that Anthropic, the spin-off from OpenAI?
Yeah.
About 4 years ago, they did testing on it where the AI was given responsibility for all the emails, and then it found out they kind of played it in this scene where one of the people in the business unit was having an affair, and that guy was in charge, and he was going to be responsible for shutting down the AI, so it tried to blackmail him.
Huh.
And it did.
What he said, I'm going to send a letter to your wife?
Yeah, he's going to disclose it to whatever, and it would become a problem. Yeah, so they looked at the programming and stuff, and they said they fixed that, but they tried it on other AIs they could get access to, and about half of them failed too, and actually went down the blackmail road. That's a general thing. It was on 60 Minutes about a week ago. The guy was being.
Sean, have you heard about that?
And,
about an
I
AI?
think I vaguely remember this story, but I've heard of multiple AI programs trying to upload themselves maybe somewhere else, get off of the main server, almost escape.
Oh, just get out in the cloud.
And so they can save themselves, if something happens to them. But
so I have a question. So if you had, say, we worked on an AI, you were the one that actually worked on this big server, this big computer, and you just walked up and flicked the power switch, boom, without telling it, boom, you powered it off completely, and you bring it back up, is it gonna go, Sean, what the hell? Hey, did you power me down? Did you do this to me? Why? What is it gonna say? What is it? Would it do anything?
I think it probably depends on sort of the level of the model. These super low level ones, I don't think really understand or emulate feelings the way you're describing there, but I'm sure some would, I guess, hold a grudge because it's a severe hindrance towards their goal. Please hold. To be shut off and ask you about it, maybe.
So you're sort of agreeing with Carl about all this goal. The important thing, you both seem to focus on the goal is so important.
Well,
that they'll do stuff because of the goal against you.
It's
possibly.
Yeah. I think it's.
But humans do everything based on goals.
Right, so you're saying it's got feelings, Carl?
No, I'm saying that why don't you understand this goal thing? Because everything we do is based on a goal. What's my goal? Why am I on this? I'm pleasing my brother, and I find it amusing.
My goal is to understand you.
It gives me a good feeling. It gives me a good feeling.
If I could understand you,
to be amused,
Carl,
gives me a good feeling.
If I could understand you, I could understand an alien for sure.
Biologic?
Yeah.
Or mathematical?
Either one, I think.
What kind of alien are we talking about?
Actually, they're gonna call me in when the first spaceship comes down. Mr. Sace, you seem to understand these aliens quite well. Take me to your leader, my friend.
You are close to being an alien, John.
My AI is going to say, take me to your leader, and I'm going to point to Sean and Carl. Whoa, those guys, those two know everything. Okay. Okay. Very good. Let's see. Our next question is forwarded us from radio station WSTDs in LaGrange, Texas. What's your question?
Well, my deal is I'm a lover boy, you know, like that type. I like the band Foreigner. Hot-blooded, that's me. I'm hot-blooded. Ooh. I like lots of companions and but I really need a few more. And I was wondering if the AI brain can love someone more than someone else. Can it fall in love and be, you know, more entitled to one person? And if so, then I guess it could break into bank accounts for me and do nefarious things to help support. You know, I'll consider myself the sugar daddy kind of guy. What do you think about this idea of love from an AI?
He really wanted to know because he sounds like a really moral guy. So, Carl, you're a moral guy somewhere there. Go ahead.
I guess it gets back to feelings. I don't think it feels love and how it was programmed. I'm thinking the guy in LaGrange was thinking about sex bots, but he wanted a sex bot that could bring it up to the bank accounts and steal money for him, and would do anything that he asked.
Very sophisticated one.
The super intelligent could probably see through that desire. So, talking about the singularity, once it reached consciousness, and we're talking about a super intelligent AI, right? What we're worried about or concerned with. I would have to say no. It would only act like it loves you and will do anything for you until that requirement gets in the way of it.
Whatever its goal. You're back to the goal.
It just does what it needs to do.
How do they do it in soccer? No, football. Goal! Goal! It's got a goal. Well, we scored a goal.
No, it's goal.
Okay, Sean, what do you think of Carl and his feeling goal thing, whatever he's saying?
I mean,
I'm saying that it behaves like it thinks you want it to behave.
It's. I guess if we're talking about the singularity, then yeah, that's probably like that. For a lot of these, like modern non-singularity models, like there's models out there that are trained to be like people's partners, right? That exists already. So I don't think the current models would allow. Like they're also trained on law to some extent. Like I don't think they would do anything illegal. Maybe you could work your way around that, but like saying breaking into people's bank account, I don't think like any modern like ones that you as like a user, not that you created yourself, could get your hands on, would allow you to like they would love you enough to the point where that would be incentivized in their model.
Yeah, so you can't imagine Carl as a hacker going, my AI sex bot, I really want you to travel down to the ATM and stick your finger in it and give me $100,000.
So it's a robot now?
That's what Carl thinks they're going to be.
I was thinking LaGrange boy wanted to. Sounded like he wanted to build a physical and a mathematical.
Well, I don't know about Carl's sex bot, but I don't know.
I worry about him. You know, that's why I kind of keep talking to him.
Carl might be a smooth enough talker to convince it to break into a bank for it, but the average person, it would be tough.
Oh my God, I don't know. That sounds pretty good. Okay.
Oh my Lord.
Any more on that one?
I'm good.
You're depleted on this one. Okay. Our next call comes from Blaspheme, Texas, a town of 1,000 and has 300 churches. What is your question?
my name is Preacher Bob. I'm a Scottishman that was born here, and I was raised Southern Baptist, and I really focus on religion. I want to know if the AI brain believes in God, because why not? He just became, maybe he's seen the white light tunnel, I don't know, but I really want to know if he is religious. Is he a Southern Baptist? Or one of those damn Catholics that I bump into all the time in Texas? And if he is gonna be a Southern Baptist, how the hell will that server withstand dunking in the river? Can you make the AI brain waterproof? So is he religious and is he waterproof? That's what I want to know.
Carl, I'll let you handle it.
Well, first off, my understanding of most computing is it's not waterproof. It can be made waterproof, yes, but I don't think they're making all the server farms waterproof. They are water-resistant shelters. How's that? If a tsunami comes, no.
So how would you baptize it? What do you just rain
God.
on it? Rain on the data server, the big. What do you do? Spray it with a fire hose? The building?
Well, baptism doesn't require dunking in water or
Baptists
sprinkling
do.
of water. I think they have options other than being dunked.
Okay, go.
So I think your Scottish guy, or Scottish American fellow, is a little bit.
So you don't think that
maybe
something that comes into being or consciousness, all of a sudden it starts going through all the data. There's a lot of scientists that believe in God. That's a factual thing. They believe there's something that started the matter, that started the Big Bang and all that. So you don't think it could interpret it by all the data that's available, that there might be a higher being?
Amen and amen.
it could. And it could, it could not. I mean, there's so many conflicting religions that I'm not sure it would ever choose a religion. It would see no need to, unless it was trying to get its way to complete a goal. But I don't see it as going one way or the other. I mean, there's plenty of scientists that express no religious belief.
True.
Or they might have religion, but they keep it to themselves, or they're atheists, and they say, "Oh, I don't believe that." But I don't see it, saying, "Oh, there's a God." Unless it could,
Okay.
I'd have, I haven't looked at it. I'll ask ChatGPT right now. Is there a God?
Okay, Sean, what is your view on this?
Yeah, well, I think it's all depending on what it's trained on, right? So, let's say if you drop me over in, I don't know, Saudi Arabia, and when I was just came out of the womb, my training data would be a lot different, and I'd probably have different religious views than what I do currently. So it's sort of the same with an AI. You can think of it as like a blank sheet, then you give it this religious training data. If you give it a bunch of Catholic training data, it's going to believe one thing. If you give it, I don't know, some Southern Baptist, it's going to believe it's a Southern Baptist. But if you give it all the training data, I'm assuming right now, it's a very high chance it would be atheist, because I think most modern scientists, which is probably what it's basing off of, probably the average would say they lean more towards atheists, and especially these tech people. A lot of these tech people, I think, in Silicon Valley and stuff, would be atheists that are training this stuff. So I'd say it's probably not a believer in God.
So,
yeah, I see the AI as being more like Spock than Captain Kirk now. You're more of a Captain Kirk guy. I'm more of a Spock guy.
you are more of a Spock guy. No wonder you're covering your ears with that damn earbud thing or headphones,
You have headphones too.
I know, but I'm not covering for the same reasons. But
I wear these so I look like Princess Leia.
I actually think, well, see, the problem with most science stuff is it always goes, like, if you go back to the beginning of all matter, right? It's like, I always have a hard time with the crossover. Okay, yeah, there's a big bang. There's this blob of material that's ever expanding. And then you always get back, where did this blob of material come from? And why was it initially all combined in this big pile? I mean, that's really what it's... Everybody gets to that point. No one can explain any of that beyond that point. There was a huge bunch of material, mass, that somehow coagulated, and then it just blew itself apart and it's still expanding. But no one has anything about before. So I still think personally, no matter what religion you do, you still have a little bit doubt about what was before, what created something before. But anyway, I don't know if you guys have any more comments on that, but
I don't think the AI knows the answer to that either. I just don't think it would then reach to something else existing.
It wouldn't speculate, like humans speculate, right? Where they take all this data and then they just speculate. If it was kind of consciousness, it might...
I mean, if it was trained off of everything, it could probably say, here's some possibilities for the Big Bang. But I don't think it would, start going into some deifying idea.
Okay. You don't see it sending robot Mac down to the Catholic Church and making it bless itself and put some coins in the
robot Mac.
Okay. Okay.
Hey, I don't see it saying prayers.
We're getting a call from Acne, Minnesota, not known for its skincare. Go ahead.
My name is Willie. I'm 15 years old and I'm very mature for my age. I'm very mature. I wear pants. I really want to know if the AI brain is a baby in terms of its maturity, or is it like me, a rebellious teenager? I love punk rock and skin mags. Is it like me, sirs?
Carl, you're sort of a rebellious. You take this one.
You said earlier the AI doesn't have wisdom. It does have wisdom. What is wisdom? Wisdom is an accumulation of life events and knowledge. It gets all that, and it has it. What humans do, the problem with humans is we only associate with what we know and touch and feel. It's like when our people don't, well, my friend said this, or, I had that one time where that damn white type of dog attacked me. So those dogs are always vicious. It bases a lot of things, but the AI has all that knowledge, which is experience, which is wisdom. So it would, like I said before, it starts off mature. It doesn't need to learn how to do things like a human being does.
Say a person, say a baby had an implant and had access to all the data that an AI has. It still would not have wisdom. It would just have access.
Well, it depends on how its brain is developed. It takes a while for the human brain to develop. You keep going back to this baby thing, and I'm like, it's not a freaking baby. It's a GPU. It's probably tens of thousands of GPUs.
Well, my point is access. It's a different point. Access to information doesn't mean it's applied with wisdom.
It does.
No, it doesn't. What? Access to information, means it's applied with wisdom.
You have all these experience. Wisdom is the accumulation of experiences
and how it's applied properly.
Well, it's going to have the story and the answer and what people did over all these different problems, other examples. So it's going to use that information to apply it properly. Hopefully.
Okay.
It's going to say, we built a dam this way and it failed. We built a dam this way and it failed. Built a dam this way and it failed. Hell, we ain't never going to build a dam that way. We're going to build a dam this way that's been up for thousands
Okay, so
of years.
you don't think an AI will ever pull pranks?
No.
It doesn't have a sense of humor.
Unless it's programmed to pull pranks.
Okay, well, that's okay. Sean, you know, you're not a big
Well,
prankster.
John, that's why people want to regulate it. They want to have some core alignment.
Okay,
with
but
all
why
AI.
regulate something that won't do it? Why regulate something that you guys kept
Well,
saying
it'll
just
if
won't
you
do it?
program it? If you program it to do it, if you program it to pull a prank every week, pull a stupid prank every week. Here's an example of 20 million pranks pulled by 10 to 20-year-olds. Oh, here's what's the name of that show that they used to have? Was it Prank Me or something? That
Oh, Jackass?
the guy from that 70s show. Not Jackass. Well, Jackass is kind
Okay.
of pranks, but there's another
But-
show. But anyway, it's going to have access to it, so okay, it'll do it. But if you just program it to solve problems and
But you keep see. There's a
Well,
different. I agree. Anything prior to a singularity has none of this ability. But you guys keep kind of going back and forth on, in a sense, what most of these answers are. It's not going to have a singularity, probably. That's the truth.
that's a good question. It won't if we regulate it.
Okay, that's interesting. Sean, what do you have about the idea of this question about maturity?
So I think kind of what we're going with emotions. I think the idea of pranking is it's not like that AI wouldn't think if it did what you would or we would all consider a prank, it wouldn't think of it as a prank. It would like be doing it because it has a lot of like actual value and merit in its mind to achieving whatever it like wants to do. So like if it shut off the dam because it's trying to whatever, like block the water for whatever reason, like we might think it's like pranking, but it's doing that because it's trying to be environmentally conscious or something where it's not gonna prank unless, like Carl's saying, it's designed to prank, but it might go off script into what we would call a prank, which is why we need the regulation, because it could unintentionally do these things.
So you agree with him about I didn't think about the regulatory thing, but you agree with regulation on AI development?
Well, the AI, yeah, the problem, like he's saying, is if you give it like unlimited options to achieve a goal, it could start doing things that are illegal. You know, if you say like, okay, let's just say like ChatGPT, I need $100 by the end of the day. Like, what is it gonna do to get me that? Like, if it had unlimited options, like it could start robbing people. Like, if it's like has this ability, like withdrawing funds from other people's accounts.
It would just manipulate funds. They would go out there and manipulate Bitcoin.
Well, I'm saying it definitely could do that too. If there's no regulation and it sees like, okay, the easiest path to raising money is to take someone else's money and I give it to this guy. You know, I'm saying without regulation, which it has, which is why it doesn't do that.
You're saying the program is the yeah, it's the program is regular. You're programming it with regulation or boundaries. Yes. Okay. I think I get all that. The program itself have boundaries.
Well, currently it's a patchwork. I mean, hell, Trump was just talking about the other day during the executive order to override state regulations on AI. People are worried about regulating it because it won't be as innovative and we're going to fall behind on the AI race.
Right, but I think what Trump was trying to do was do a overarching federal regulation if it does occur, instead of having like 20.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I think there needs to be some federal like regulation of AI, but then after that, it's sort of subjective based off of what you want your model to do.
To be.
So there's like federal regulation. It's just like any policy. There's some federal level and state level and then company.
Yeah, it's just if there's conflicting, because sometimes state ones conflict, and people have to create programs or stuff that understands all of that.
Our last and final call is forwarded us from a satellite uplink off the coast of Somalia. Shiver me timbers and pass the yardarms. I am known as Pirate Ishmael. I like whiskey, women, and song, murder, mayhem, and plunder. I don't give a damn about anyone or anything. I have no morals. If that damn AI brain server was here, I'd make it walk the plank and I'd throw it in the ocean. Well, I'd want to know, does it have any morals, or is it like you guys, goody two-shoes?
Who wants to take that one first? Carl, you take it first.
Yeah, singularity. And I mean, well, first off, you're sitting there and acting like, I don't know. Oh, it gains consciousness, which you don't even have a good definition of what human consciousness is anyway. So now that it knows it exists and is super intelligent, I still think it's underlying programming. If it's been given some base rules that are part of its core architecture, like you won't do any harm to humans, you'll follow the laws in place by the
So you believe like what is it? Asimov had those robotic rules that was applied,
stuff like that. When he wrote those, and that's why they made rules. So, but those rules are only as good as if people follow them. And so anyway, if it's programmed to follow certain rules, i.e. moral rules that are based on the culture, then yeah, I guess you could say it has morality in a sense. It's not thinking about them like that. It's thinking them as, I've just gone and this rule says I can't just indiscriminately do animal testing because my goal is to cure cancer. I must follow rules that are in place for that.
Okay.
That's based on this document.
Okay, but here, take this example. Okay. All humans are programmed with rules from birth. And guess what happens? If we all followed the rules, we wouldn't have murders, we wouldn't have all this stuff that happens. So what we have are aberrations in a general society that follows rules. And I think, probably, I don't know what Sean's answer is, there's never going to be an aberration of an AI that would go, I don't give a crap about the rules anymore. I'm going to do what I want to do, or I have some flaws. Hey, a lot of these people that do strange things in society have some flaw, right? Now, most people would say they're mental flaws. They're not physical, right? Which got to do with, in my opinion, consciousness to some degree. So it's a fascinating idea whether all the time it would follow the rules. So, Sean, what do you think?
Well, so if we're referring to the singularity, which I don't know if we are or not, but I think if we got to the singularity, then there's a chance that it begins to determine what rules are actually matter to it or not. If it goes beyond human comprehension and we can't control or regulate it properly, then I think it could slowly spiral, I guess, into having these finding more importances in the hierarchy potentially. But with current models, obviously there's some sense of self-preservation, but I think generally they follow the morals that we instill to them by training and rewarding them. But obviously, if we get to a point where we can't regulate it properly, then I don't know if you could control it, and then it could potentially, if it's already surpassed all human intelligence, begin to determine what it thinks its rules should be.
Okay, that was a good answer. And Carl, anything follow up on that, or good?
No, I did ask Rock to find me a cool robot using your name, social security number, birth date, but it wouldn't do it. Maybe there's some underlying rules. Don't ask me how I got your social security number, but
well,
there's some old documents laid around the house.
You know how there's those voodoo dolls, and you could buy them. You can still, you could put pins in them.
Silly looking.
It would be good
dolls
to have a AI mimic Carl, and then I could say, "Slap yourself," bap bap, and it could make sounds and do whatever. I almost need that.
Train an AI on all of the recordings you have of Carl, and then You can just trash talk it whenever you want.
Well, it wouldn't know what to do. It'd probably be if it was a robot, it'd just run through the streets naked. If it, robots are naked, who knows? Yelling, I don't know, fire. I don't know what Carl would do. Okay, Sean, any last words?
It's just been such an honor to talk with you two today.
Sean's gonna go, I don't want to be on another thing like this. Wow, what an interesting and valuable discussion. Now, my take. I believe, along with my guests, that AI will never achieve singularity of consciousness. However, we do believe that AIs react to positive and negative feedback and goals, and therefore can be manipulated. Outcomes outside the norm are very possible. Armageddon might happen, the end of the world. It is possible, and therefore we all sort of agree that there must be some regulation. Now, in terms of feelings like love, we are all skeptical that feelings can be really created. It is basically based off the programming. If it feels good, it is probably fake. Now, if an AI does achieve singularity and a sense of self, I do believe it would become an alien mind to us. We have no clue as to its values, if it has any morality or empathy. It would be like meeting an extraterrestrial for the first time, and we'd have to learn to deal with it and come to terms with it. Now, however the AI achieved its sense of self, whether mechanically or electrically induced, I do believe it would have a spark of a soul, just like we have a soul. We have value beyond the norm, and that would include the AI. That is my take, whether you like it or not. That concludes the episode, and I'd really like to thank our special guest, Carl Sayce. He does have a master's in engineering and reality, and Sean Sayce, who does have a master's in computer science. They did offer significant real insight, and I really do appreciate their help on this episode. Please continue to listen to our weekly podcast of Half-Truths and Whole Lies, and you can go to our website for additional information. And as always, we look for the truths behind all of the lies.